Today is Saturday and I'm about to do back and biceps. So the first exercise I'm going to do is weighted chin-ups. I've got my weight belt, so I'm going to attach some weights onto this. For the first set, I'm going to go a little bit heavier than I did last week. I'm going to put 15 kilos on the belt. Let's see what we can get. I'm hoping to get, 5 or 6 reps. 6 would be ideal, but we'll just go with how the body feels. I was feeling a little bit niggly in my upper back, so I've done a warm-up, done 10 minutes on my max trainer. I've done a little bit of foam rollering, a little bit of stretching out with some resistance bands, just for the shoulders and chest and through the biceps, that type of thing. Right. And now I've got 15 kilos on, a 10 kg plate and a 5 kilo plate. Let's see how it goes. Oh. Well, we'll call that 6 3/4 reps. Just make a note of that. And then what I'm going to do is just some straight arm banded push downs. Just try and engage my lats a little bit, give them a little bit of work. So try and keep shoulders back, glutes tight, core tight, and straight arms. And step out so you've got a bit of tension on it from the starting position here. Reps, move that to the side. Okay, got 5 kilo and 2.5 kilo, so 7.5. Let's see what we can get on this. Feeling hard today, feeling hard. 6 reps, and it was chin over bar or chin up to the bar on all reps. Slight little kip on that last one just to get me past the midway sticking point. Set 15, straight arm banded push downs or pull downs. one more set, weighted pull-ups. For this one, I'm just going to put a 2.5 kilo on and see how we go. They're all feeling rather exhausting today. I feel quite fatigued. I've eaten well this morning, done my warm-up, done my stretching. Some days you're just not feeling it. Oh. But sometimes, even on those days, you will set your best results. It's funny how it works. Some days you feel completely energized, you go in, you don't perform. Some days, quite frankly, you feel like crap, really. You don't want to do the workouts. And you go in and you set PBs. So, yeah, just consistency is the key. Just get the workouts done. Final set of these. Oh my God. Terrible. Well, that was a horrible set. Pretty poor. I think I was thinking about the reps too much while I was doing them. And that fourth rep just, I don't know, I just hit a wall. Hit a wall. I was hoping to get 6 reps, didn't even get 5. So, but it is what it is. I had a pretty good first set. And really that's the heavy set. So that's what counts as far as I'm concerned. The rest of it is just, you know, the cherry on top. But the cake is that first set. So if we can do well on that, which I feel we did do, 6 3/4 reps, pretty controlled, and that obviously took it out of me for the next 2 sets. Right, final set of straight arm banded push downs. Jeez. Oh. Yeah, not feeling it today. Right, next exercise is going to be the bent over dumbbell rows using a bench. And yeah, I'm doing this rather than a straight bar, you know, a barbell row, just to take pressure off my lower back. At least if I can do it using a bench with support, it takes a bit of the strain out of my lower back, and so I'm less likely to tweak my back, and less likely to get injured. And at the moment, it's the name of the game. I want consistency within my workouts, so I have to sacrifice some beneficial movements that, if I was in good health and I didn't have a lower back issue, would be probably more preferential sort of movements, as opposed to a dumbbell row. But you know, we've got to adapt and do what we can. So a dumbbell row is still a good exercise if you do it well, nice and controlled. And yeah, That's the next exercise. It'll be 4 sets of 12, starting relatively light and working up in weight each set. Yeah, let's get it. Okay, so you'll notice I've got my back support on for this, just an extra bit of reassurance really. I'm going to start with the 15 kilo dumbbells. I'll start on the left, I'll move on to the right. We're going to go 12 reps each side, core tight, glutes tight, breathe in, core tight, reach down, breathe out as you lift it up, get to that starting position, and then we'll start our reps. Deep breath in, stretch it down, and next set will be on 22s. Right, I'm going to rest for a moment. Jump the weight up to the 29s for the third set, and the final set will be the 36s. So I've literally just gone up by 7 kilos each set for the 4 sets. quite fatigued, but I'm also feeling a few niggles throughout my back, so I've got to be a little bit careful. Yeah, fingers crossed, we'll be alright. This is really the last sort of heavy set. Some of the other exercises now are more just about working through slightly different movement patterns, but with a lot lighter resistance. So they help to sort of almost, to a degree, unwind the body a little bit until my final exercise, which is a shrug ladder. For 1 rep, you do 1 shrug and 1 second hold. 2 shrugs and a 2 second hold. 3 shrugs, 3 second hold, all the way up to 10 shrugs, 10 second hold. Try and do it in 1 set without putting the bar down. So it's not going to be perfect form. It's a bit more of a grinding exercise. Just get through it, but it certainly does pump up those traps. And then it will be a bicep movement to finish off. But anyway, final set of these. Let's go up 36 kilos and see what we can get. Okay, final set of these, aiming for 12. I won't go above 12, even if I get 12. And I'll try and keep them nice and controlled. Right, last set. I'm going to do a high pulley banded row because I don't have cables or anything like that, so I use the bands for anything that I would otherwise use the cable crossover machines for. But this is just going to be a single arm, 1 arm at a time, where you're stretching out and you're twisting and pulling as you go. Let it stretch you out on the way out, on the eccentric essentially, and then on the concentric you're twisting and trying to drive your elbow back behind you. 15 reps each side, and we'll do 3 sets on this. So apologies for the angle, but yeah, right, here we go. Switch arms. Basically do the same thing on the other side. For the other arm, keep the rest periods pretty short on this one. Right, final set each side, 15 reps, third set, let's go. Well, I'm not going to failure on any of those sets. Keeping the rest period short still feels quite taxing on the system. Taxing, but in a way where you're reducing your risk of pulling any muscles, which in the long run will just hold you up in whatever goals and targets you're looking to reach. So it's okay to have some exercises in your routine that do not push you to failure, but still tax you in another way. So obviously I'm breathing heavy, the muscles are still working, you know, the body is still having to pump a lot of blood around the body to oxygenate those muscles that are working. That's good on the heart, good on your cardio. And now I'm going to move on to the hyper Y and W's, where you start in a position here holding a couple of weights. I'll go very light, 2.5 kilo plate in each hand, and you extend out into the Y, you come back and you go into the W. You come back, extend to the Y, come back into the W. And when you're going into that W position, you almost want to be thumbs pointing up or behind you, let's say. So you come in, Y, thumbs up to a degree, or certainly having your palms and your hands in a position where you could give a thumbs up if necessary. And then you bring them back in and you extend out, squeezing those shoulder blades together and driving the elbows back. So I'll be doing 3 sets of that, 12 to 15 reps for each. 12 to 15 Ys, 12 to 15 Ws, but I'm alternating the reps. Y, W, Y, W. And we'll see how we go. It's got to be said, my upper back is feeling a little bit fried. So we'll see how we go, even with these comedy weights. Right, first set. See how we go. I start off with the Y and then I go to the W. So, a bit like this. Starting position. Right, 12 reps each. I'll try and do a little pause at the end and a little pause at the top here. Yeah, I always find it quite tough. You don't need to go heavy with these. You know, sticking that little pause at the end of each rep where you just hold that position, that'll fatigue you in no time. If you want to hold it for a couple of seconds, that'll make it a lot harder. So you don't need to go heavy, relatively speaking, to your strength levels, or to your perceived strength levels. But it's a really good exercise for the upper back. I do like it. You get a great burn. So yeah, little rest between sets. Next set. So you're trying to rest, yeah, your upper chest really towards the top of the bench, just so my chin can go over the end of the bench. Yeah, finding that quite tough, quite tough. One more set of those, and then on to the final exercise for back. which will be the shrug ladder. Right, third and final set of these. Well, I was definitely starting to feel muscularly fatigued on that after maybe 8 reps of each. So, you know, there was a bit of a breakdown in form there, and yeah, so be it. It is what it is. We get through it. No injuries, which is, as always, positive. And now I'm going to go and do the final exercise, which is the shrug ladder. I hate this exercise. Right, I'm going to get it set up. Okay, so got a barbell, got a 20 kg plate either end, 60 kilos in total. So not anything crazy, but for me that is plenty. I am going to use chalk. Get some chalk on my hands now, just to help with this, because I'm going to try and do this all in one set without putting the bar down. And it is taxing. It is taxing. So a bit of chalk, you know, just some may say it's cheating, but hey ho. I guess I'm cheating. But really, the way we're going to do this, it's going to be 1 rep and then hold for 1 second, 2 reps and hold for 2 seconds, 3 reps and hold for 3 seconds at the top, and so on. And we'll try and get through the 10 rounds like that. It normally takes from start to finish. I've done it with this weight, I've done it I think twice, like maybe the last 2 weeks. Or it may have just been last week that I did this weight, I can't quite remember, I'll have to check. But either way, it was around 1 minute and 50 seconds from start to completion. I've got a little stopwatch here that I use on the phone, so I'll start that. Once it gets to 10 seconds, I'll make sure I'm in a starting position to go. I don't like hitting start and then trying to grab the bar and get myself in position and start. You know, I want to have an accurate reading, so I'll let the timer go for, you know, 7 seconds. I'll grab that bar, I'll get into a start position. Once it hits 10 seconds, I'll do my first rep. And then I'll look at the time to try and judge accurately how long I'm holding those reps at the top, whether I'm getting the right amount of seconds or not. Anyway, and there probably will be a little bit of this sort of leaning back, squeezing my glutes, trying to hold it in that top position. I don't know why I keep twisting my hand. I never do that grip ever. Even when I did deadlifts, I was always grabbing the bar, knuckles forward, palms back, because I never wanted to risk ever tearing a bicep. So if you have your knuckles facing forwards, palms facing towards you, you don't engage your biceps, so there's no chance you're actually going to tear a bicep. But it's different when you use the alternating grip. If one palm is facing forward, there's a chance you can try and pull the bar up with a lot of weight on and you just tear your biceps. So for longevity, we avoid that sort of grip. It's always that grip, no matter what I'm doing. Okay, let's get this going. Okie dokie. Alright, ready. 7 seconds. That was ugly. And the problem I had there is the phone that I'm using to record this with. I usually use that as my timer, and it's got big numbers on there. This poxy thing, it's got freaking tiny numbers down here. And when you're under strain, sometimes that affects your vision. So I was really finding it quite hard to see how many seconds I was holding it for, and then that is taking mental energy away from what you're doing, so it makes the exercises harder. So Christ, I mean, I think start to finish that took about 2 minutes, which says to me that I was holding that bar longer than I needed to. I found that last set exceptionally difficult. After I'd done the set of 9 with the 9-second hold, I thought, this is not feeling great. It's coming loose in my fingers, and yeah. So that wasn't the best set I've ever done. It's got to be said. But either way, got through the routine all in one piece, and now I'm going to do a finisher for biceps. So I'll set that up now. Okay, so I'm going to be doing dumbbell curls on a bench 45-degree angle, so that as you're leaning back, you're under full tension at the bottom, full stretch through the biceps. It's a much better exercise than being in an upright position, just curling from here. Curling from behind you puts those biceps under more tension, creates an environment where you can have bigger gains, more growth on the muscle, and what you want to do is squeeze those triceps at the bottom, so that ensures the maximum stretch on the biceps at the bottom, and that's what you want. You want to get the biggest stretch possible, and it makes the exercise a lot harder. You won't be able to get anywhere near as many reps as you can just sitting in an upright position curling like this. So we'll see how we go. I haven't actually lifted these weights in particular for years really on a bicep curl, because I haven't done any specific bicep workouts on this sort of recent phase of training over the last 13 weeks. I've just stuck like an exercise like this at the end of a back workout, and that's all I've done for biceps. But I've gone up to, I was doing the 15 kilo dumbbells last week as the first set, and then I dropped it down to maybe the 13s, the 11s, the 9s, and I was just going to failure on each set. I'm going to the 18s today. Whether that's a wise thing or not, I'm not sure. It's a decent jump up from 15 kilos. And actually, as you can tell, I've put my elbow support on because I'm feeling a bit of a niggle on the inside on the right elbow. So whether today is the day I should be going up in weight, I'm not sure. But I got 14 reps on the 15s last week, and I want to have a slightly lower rep range. Really, I don't want to be busting out that many reps on a first set, on the heavy set. So yeah, anyway, let's see how we go. Right, first set. Felt a bit wobbly there. Right, first set, as many reps as possible, and we'll go from there. And I'm not twisting, I'm not sort of hammer curling at the start and then twisting at the top. I want palms facing forwards the whole way, from the start to the finish. Right. Okay. Remember, squeeze the triceps at the bottom. Ten reps we'll have to do on that. It's not bad. Yeah, it's a pretty decent first set, 10 reps. Good range of motion, full stretch at the bottom, squeeze the triceps at the bottom. Almost like resets you on every single rep. Almost putting it, to like maximum difficulty really for this way of performing that type of bicep curl. So yeah, that's good. I'll drop down to the 15s now, see how many we get. Shrink the arms out a little bit. Whew. Yeah. jeez. Oh, that was terrible. I probably should have taken a slightly longer pause between sets, but anyway, 7 reps. These are the 13 kilos now for a third set. Certainly hoping I get more than 7 reps. But yeah, we'll rest for a minute or so. Doesn't really matter, as long as you're going to failure. So, but yeah, ideally, I'd still want to be getting, as a minimum really, around 10 reps on each of these sets. If not a few more. I just don't want to be getting, you know, a very high number on that first set. I don't mind it being around 8 to 10 reps. But on the first set, because I'm going heavy, if I'm able to get a lot more than that, then I haven't gone heavy enough. That's what it tells me. So, yeah. Anyway, let's see what we get. I'm definitely feeling fatigued today. Right, that's fine. 9 reps. And then we'll drop it to the 11 kilos for this final set. Right, 11 kilo dumbbells. Right. Okay, final set. 11 kilos. See what we get. Had a decent break, so if I get less than 10, that's terrible. Right, 16 reps. Good enough. Okay. Decent workout. Not my best, but it was a good workout. Yeah, any workout where you come out without any real issues is a good one. Especially given the fact I felt very low on energy, even at the beginning. Even after my pre-workout, after my warm-up. Just one of those days. but we roll with the punches. I'm definitely, God, I'm pumped. Hard to even take the sweaty top off. You might notice I wear this. This is a compression top, so it just gives a little bit extra support. I mean, it's supposed to, in theory, help to recover your body a bit quicker, like because of the compression. It helps to reduce the amount of lactic acid build up and all that sort of stuff. But I've worn these for my training for years, and I wear them so that I have a little bit extra stability, a bit more support on my body, just because I've got so many different issues that I'm trying to manage and prevent from snowballing. Yeah, but it's a nightmare to try and pull it off when I'm sweaty. End up almost like rupturing my shoulders trying to get it off. So I'll have to go and ask the wife to take it off. I'm sure that'll be a pleasurable experience for her. And I'll be back. Well, got to thank my wife for getting the top off. So that's how we're coming along. So we're 13 weeks in, pretty much. 13 weeks done. This would be week 7 of hypertrophy. Trying to get that beach body. 3 more weeks, well, 2 more weeks actually now after this. I've got tomorrow, I'll do chest and triceps. And then next week, starting Monday, that'll be the beginning of the final 2 weeks of hypertrophy. Then I'm going to go on to an active rest week, and then I'll do 4 weeks of trying to strip down like excess fat, because I've got it all around my hips and everything like that. It's not good. From the front on, that seems to look all right, but yeah, there's plenty that can be stripped. It's not just skin. There's plenty of fat in there. So yeah, it's looking all right. Coming along, and we will keep on trying. But yeah, I'll keep you updated. Oh, have a good weekend. Enjoy your week, and keep plugging away. Consistency, sorry, will get you there in the end. You just got to eat the right things, train, you know, with a purpose, have certain goals that you're looking to work towards, structure your training around that, and just go and do the workouts. It's as simple as that, really. And then eat accordingly. I'm still on my weight gain phase, so you know, and I packed on 2 kilos last week, so I'm not going to be obviously looking super shredded, but hopefully when I go into my shredding phase I can maintain a lot of the muscle mass that I've added on over the last 13 weeks. Because I started at 75.9 kilograms and I was 84 kilos on Monday, so that's in 13 weeks. I've put on 8.1 kilos, and this week I've been eating a lot, drinking a lot of water, again hoping to add a bit more weight, certainly over the next couple of weeks before I look to trim everything down. But yeah, have a good one, much love.